I think there might be two types of people, to be very extreme and black and white, that will listen to this podcast. One will be people who are sucked in, if you like, by the whole twin flame soulmate ideology, and who, I know I've met my twin flame and he doesn't know me or remember me, or he's married or she's married or they're in another country and I want them to love me. People who are trapped, in a sense, in this cycle of twin flame ideology. If you're one of those people, I think you should keep listening to this. I think it'll be of use to you. Then there's the other group of people who maybe have already switched off, or maybe didn't even click on the video and think, twin flame, what a load of bollocks. So I fell into the second category. I had no interest in twin flames, soulmates, or any of that kind of thing until, now I'm recording this in, I think it's November 2020, so it would have been just over a year ago. A woman gave me a reading and she said that my twin flame would be presented to me in I think the start of 2020. I thought, okay, fair enough. Didn't really pay much attention to it. This woman was fairly accurate with some other readings around me, so I was quite interested, but didn't pay much attention to it. Thought, I'll get on with my life. This happens, it happens, great, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. I connected with this person, and I remember when I saw her image, when I saw her photograph, it was something. I kind of recoiled. I don't know. I just saw trouble. Don't want to get involved here. Don't want to message or have any kind of contact. Move on. And that was that. And then gradually there was a bit of interaction between the two of us, and I don't know how quick, maybe over a week or two, we became quite close. Dare I say intimate. I don't mean that in a sexual way. I just mean intimate, quite close, and we were in different countries. And what began to happen, I suppose, over the weeks that followed was, in a sense, my heart began to open more, and I began to remember her. I've talked about this in other videos, that, times of people I work with that I can just I remember them. I know them, and sometimes they know me. We know each other from previous lives, and sometimes I have flashbacks of lifetimes of them being my wife perhaps, or my daughter, or me being the wife and them the husband, or whatever it may be. But there's a knowing, there's an awareness of this spirit. It's really hard to put into words, and that goes beyond the human. And some of the problem with this, there's lots of problems with it, but one problem can be that the other person quite simply does not remember us. So we know this person, I fucking know you, and we know their spirit. We know, and we're overjoyed. Fucking heart opens. I know this person. Oh my God, it's you. And they're like, okay. They don't know us. Now, they might like us as a human. They might even love us as a human. Or they might remember a little bit. Or not. So there was degrees of that, that I know and I remember this person. I remember her spirit, and I love her spirit. Fucking beautiful, wonderful spirit. But long story short, we're on different stages of the path. I don't mean that in a hierarchical sense, or I'm fucking more evolved than her. I don't. That's not what I mean. What I mean is we're working with different stages. Maybe that is a better way of putting it. So we're not aligned now, and maybe we'll never be aligned. What happened during those weeks was that I did become more and more sucked in. Attached is a good word. I felt the fucking grief of not being with this person. And I found it hard to see her. I found it hard to have contact with her. If I got a message on my phone, it would, oh my God, fucking hell. Yeah, heartbreak. Oh, Jesus Christ. There's nothing like a good fucking dose of in love or heartbreak to fucking really break the heart open. As Rumi says, I think it's Rumi, the heart must be repeatedly broken to be opened. And I believe that. Now, I know there's fucking the secret people out there, whoever say, it doesn't have to, you can just manifest your fucking open heart. Good luck to you, well done, good luck, goodbye. It's not my experience. Maybe it will be someday. Maybe I'm only a fucking beginner on step one of this path. Maybe as I progress I'll be able to open my heart without the grief. But as I've talked about before in videos, that I see the heart like a big grand old mansion. Loads of rooms that we haven't been in for a very long time. And we venture into these rooms one by one when we're ready, when we feel able, and we open the curtains and we open the window, we let some air in and light in, and we sit on the bed, and as memories come back, we allow those memories to wash through us, and we clear out the air and we dust the room. And now we have a new room in this grand, many-roomed mansion. A little bit more space. And then a week later or a month later, we go into another room and so on. And very gradually over time, we regain and reclaim this mansion, this big old house. That's the way I view the heart. There's grief in there from many things. Jobs you didn't get. The look your boyfriend or your husband or your spouse or whoever gave you fucking 15 years ago. Oh, stuff that just wasn't integrated, that wasn't felt, that maybe you were drunk at the time, maybe you didn't know what to do, maybe you were arguing, maybe whoever. So there's all that of this life, including childhood, the dynamic with parents and siblings and schools and teachers and priests and all that shite. And then there's all the stuff we've inherited from the family line. So there's plenty to keep you busy. All those little pockets and layers of grief. So as we, in inverted commas, as we fall in love, or maybe meet the twin flame, someone we can fucking feel aligned to, someone we know and remember, bang, heart is fucking, a number of those rooms open at the same time, and it's overwhelming. And the grief and tears and heartbreak and loneliness and yearning for this person. Do you recognize this? I'm going somewhere with this. Trust me, hang on. So I began to step back from this wonderful woman and distance myself because it was fucking too painful at times. Instinctively I was stepping back, and then one day I realized and I wondered, what the fuck am I doing? I realized I'd become a slave. I was at the mercy of this energy. I was at the mercy of this person. No blame whatsoever now on her. It was me. And I realized I had just had an awakening, and I realized this isn't fucking nothing to do with her. Of course I know her. She's wonderful, blah, blah, blah. But I'm continually feeding her, giving her power. So people who've worked with me will know I went through the termination of contracts and terminated my contract with her, the energetic contract. And that doesn't mean terminating a relationship. It simply means leaking energy or feeding another person, or another person feeding off us. I don't mean that in any kind of critical way or bad way. That's life. It just is. There's no fucking evil in that. Or bad. She was a teacher, teaching me get a fucking hold of myself, center myself, regain my power and circulate my own energy. And what I began to learn very, very quickly was that although this being is magnificent, she's human too, and she has her work to do. Work ahead of her, and her perceived, as we would say as humans, flaws, as we all do. I have plenty of them. I had projected and placed all this magnificence onto this person. Now, it's not that she's not magnificent, but the human would think, if I'm with this person, if this person loves me, if this person is with me, if this person shines her light on me, I will feel magnificent. And there's something very fucking sick about that. It doesn't add up. So this all happened probably within the space of 24 hours that I just had these fucking revelations. And I realized, no way. Like, I ain't giving my power to fucking anybody or any being. And began to terminate contracts and circulate and contain my own energy and break free of this cycle. So my perception now of the twin flame changed drastically. Now, during this time, early on, I did watch a few videos on YouTube, which is probably the worst thing anyone can do. And all these people of like, oh, my twin flame, he's married, and she doesn't love me, and all this kind of stuff. People stuck in prison. And when I had that revelation, I realized, no, I ain't staying in fucking prison. I'm free. Surely I am God consciousness. Surely I am not chained to any person or being that I need to be a fucking doctor or write a book or be in love with this person or live wherever or have X amount of money, whatever it may be. I'm free. So I began to it was around the time that I made a video that was called The Savage. I think Savage Beginning was the name of the video, if I'm correct. And rather than avoid her online or her image or texts or contact or any of that, I fucking did a total 180 and I went fucking straight for them. And I looked at them. I looked at the fucking photographs. I read the texts and I felt the fucking grief and heartbreak. And very, very quickly, I mean within a day, things started to turn around very quickly. I felt the grief and the heartbreak. I integrated everything that was presented to me. And in the space of a day, or a matter of days, I'd say I integrated what felt at that stage like about 90% of this stuff. Huge turnaround. I felt free, or I began to feel free. And in that realization as well was, as me and a friend call it, like the magic dust, you know, like a children's movie or cartoon. It's like the magic dust is sprinkled on something. You know, you see the new fucking iPhone or a new car or the house on the hill or this woman or the celebrity or the fucking handbag, and you think, oh, I just fucking need this thing to complete. Oh, I'll be so complete when I have this thing, person, car, fucking degree, whatever it may be. Oh, that's my identity. I began to see the fucking magic dust and the game here being played. And I saw it for what it was. It was like the end of The Wizard of Oz. The fucking wizard behind the curtain. Pull back the curtain. I want to meet the wizard. I want to see the fucking bullshit behind this. So I got to see myself. I got to see how fucking hypnotized the layers of my ego are, thinking that's where happiness is. That's where love is and completeness. No, I'm not playing that game. Good luck. No, thank you. And I was a guy who grew up in addiction and depression and alcoholism and gave my power to people. Friends, bosses, and women. Fall in love. She's perfect. She will fix me. No way, not anymore. So I began to see that game being played. And it was liberating and freeing. Yes, I think there is such a thing as a twin flame. I think these people present to us our magnificence that's within them. And the sad thing is, that's what's happening in the spiritual world, is that people see it and they think, oh, I have to get that person, we have to connect, and if we can connect, we'll live happily ever after. Maybe you will. Brilliant. But I don't want to be at the mercy of any situation or circumstance or person. No. That's not love. You know, love is allowing a person to come and go. Let her fall in love with someone else. If she's moved to be with me and it feels right, brilliant. But if she doesn't, or if I don't feel that, cool. I want to be free. I don't want it to be at the mercy of an attachment, a dependency. It's an addiction. It's like, I need this person to feel complete, happy, whatever. It doesn't add up for me. That's not love for me. Love is a lot freer. It's a lot more centered and balanced. It's not conditional. Now, I'll give a second layer. Around that time as well, I also met, who was in another country, so we didn't meet personally, my soulmate. And there was less intensity with the soulmate. Now, as I did my work on these two people, I realized the circumstances with these people were not aligned. I'm not aligned with them right now. Now, I might be in the future, maybe in a year's time or 10 years' time. They or I will shift and we'll connect, come back together. I might do a follow-up video. We're living happily ever after. Oh, it's fantastic. I'm with my twin flame soulmate. It's amazing. You'll all be jealous, going, fucking hell, I fucking hate my husband. My fucking wife's a bitch. Why didn't I fucking meet my twin flame? But it didn't feel right. It felt like chemicals. Now, I do believe, honestly, that these people are my or a twin flame and a soulmate. I do believe there's a genuine connection, and I have a genuine, from my side anyway, can't speak for them, genuine connection and awareness and a grounded love for these women. Wonderful. But for me, like I'm in Mexico now, I'm in Acapulco, they're in other countries, we have lockdowns and all sorts of shite going on obviously. But it doesn't, even if we didn't, it doesn't feel right to go to these people now. I feel I've work to do here. I've work to do on myself. I've work to do in this land, in this energy. And maybe along the way I'll meet another twin flame or another soulmate, or just dare I say it, just a woman that feels right, or that, you know, I'll go where I'm moved to go. See what feels right. Maybe there's exploration in the meantime before that. I have no idea. So I just wanted to share that. It was really an eye-opening experience, both of the force and the power of the pull, the addiction, the dependency, the attachment. But then it was also so liberating and empowering to say no and realize, what the fuck am I doing? You know, there's a rummy quote, when turmoil rules, go in. Fucking go to it. And it took me a while to realize I'm escaping here, I'm running away. And to turn around and go back, go into the fucking heartbreak, go into the pain, and very quickly be able to work through it. And very quickly be able to get free. Now, I would say with this twin flame, there's still a percentage, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5%. Now and again, whoa, I feel a pull. Oh my God. It's like, oh, I want her. I gotta get her. Have to own her. Oh, she has to love me. Oh. But it's like a flicker. It's like, you know, when you give up smoking and you get that smell of smoke walking down the street and you think, oh, I need a cigarette. But I look at it and it's just another layer of me. It says more about me than her, you know. It says more about my lack. Oh, how empty am I? How empty am I that I think that I need this other person to love me so I feel fulfilled? But if we expand that a little bit, how empty are we that we think we need a fucking certificate on the wall? Doctorate. Masters. I earn $1 million a year, $100,000 a year. I've just bought the new fucking BMW. I've got the new iPhone. I've bought the new fucking shoes. I've bought the new handbag. Bought the house on the hill. I've married the right guy, the right woman. How empty are we that we invest in these things, our identity, that if we have these things, oh, I feel he makes me feel complete. I finished college, I'm now complete. I bought the house of my dreams, I'm now complete. I mean, I want all of these things, by all means, but I don't want any of them to be my identity. I don't want the high heels or the handbag, if you're starting to wonder. I don't want any of them to be my identity. I can give or take, I can enjoy them. I've lived in a fucking car for 4 years, and it didn't kill me. It wasn't my identity. It was not who I am or what I am. And now I'm in a kind of a nice apartment, you know, in Acapulco. It's a very cheap apartment, believe me. But it's not my identity. And if it was on the hill with a fucking swimming pool and a 4-car garage and 9 bedrooms, it's unlikely I'll be in a place like that. But if I was, it's not my identity either. And if I'm with the wonderful, beautiful, magnificent, ascended woman, she's not my identity either. She's not my trophy. She does not signify how wonderful I am or awakened I am. None of these things or people do. They come and go. They're wonderful to be with and experience. The apartment, the nice car, the nice cup of coffee, the wonderful woman, whoever it may be. But my self-esteem is within me. It's how I treat myself and care for myself. So I don't need these external things to feel complete. And when these things come along, I don't have to grab them and attach to them and need them. Whenever I feel that little pull that I need this thing or person, then I can see, there's a little vacancy there. There's a hole in my heart. There's a room to be cleared out then. Anyway, I hope that was of use. I hope it made some sense to people. We don't have to be at the mercy of these things. There are ways through to break free, continual liberation. If it was of use to you, if you enjoyed it, and if you absolutely hated it and you think it's all bollocks, please share it with other people. And I'll leave some links below that may be of interest to you. Thanks for listening. Be well.